Informative podcast series, and we are still here with the legendary creatives, people who I am fans of, and I must admit, the drinks are taking effect. I might be sweating, Hardy's speech might be free, Mevon might be laughing a little.
I'll talk in the talk.
Mevon might laugh a little more often, and Rod will just be giggling and smiling. Rod's smile might be eaten. So going forward, knowing this, I am glad that you are still here. And we're here for part 2 of the same conversation, transcending the music industry through Trapso. Right. So we ended the last discussion on a high. We are at the peak. We're talking about Nah Boy. We're talking about, the beach. We're talking about Mood featuring Abiel Beach, by the way, featuring the talented Mr. Kevon Carter. I want to before we go into where we picked up, because this is when we did the podcast, when it was the Insensitive podcast series in 2017.
Wow.
So we in the clock has gone up.
That's 5 years.
Right.
Wow. I feel like just yesterday,
right.
5 days ago.
So we had 2017 and Mood had just dropped, and I remember we had make a joke. Yeah, everybody touch Mood. Big up Kevin. Big up this. Big up that. And we was making a joke about that. Right after, so we did not discuss on that podcast, however, the intricacies and the kind of craziness that you all had to do to get the sample approved. So before we go into the other part of the analysis, I want to give me a little insight on what it is, because this is real information here.
Yeah.
A little.
I'm currently in the process of trying to get a massive song cleared for. I think I heard funny enough.
So let's give me some insight into the trials and tribulation of clearing a sample, albeit locally, because it's
all mind if I take this one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it had to be you. You had to be the man for sure.
So, Mr. Braveboy,
so this would have been the second time we tried to clear a sample. The first time was done it up.
Yeah.
And I think Steph took the lead on that one, and that led to death threats on a man was giving death threats on social media. But yet next minute he wanted Mevon to produce a pause or something. Anyway, let me leave that in the past.
That's crazy.
So Ghetto Flex, this is no secret. Ghetto Flex is one of my biggest inspirations. It's embarrassing to say, but my ICQ, remember ICQ?
Yeah.
My ICQ name was Ghetto Flex.
Right.
My email address was ghettoflex902@hotmail.com. Big Ghetto Flex fan, right? And he came to the studio. Isaac had linked it.
Yeah.
Loved this song. And so it's what, like 6 years ago?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's 2017 to be specific.
2017.
That's what I'm saying. That's because the song had just.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it dropped. I can't remember.
It dropped in 2017. It was done in 2017 as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
because the because I remember the podcast
Was
2017,
right after, yeah.
and Mood had just dropped. So
Yeah.
it was, bro. It almost come like, to be honest, I felt like I really had I really get through with this interview though, cause go through. Bro.
Yeah, no. I mean, just to get to the point, is like, I mean, Ghetto Flex, it was amazing to have him in the studio. He vibed with the song. He gave us his blessing. But the follow-up, I studied law, so I did the contract, and
we agree on splits.
we
talk
agreed
about
on
everything,
splits, everything. But for circumstances we under our control, we still have not
Got the documents signed.
properly signed and approved.
So
that affected the promotion of the song. That affected the potential of the song. That affected where we could go, because I don't understand from a business perspective. You can't keep on promoting something if you don't have the business of it.
Of course.
Straight now,
Of course.
Well, for whatever reason happened, I know that there was personal stuff going on in his life. Things happen, but that is just the reality.
That's. I didn't know that.
And
So
in
again-
2022,
Hold
the
on.
documents still never signed.
Is he alive?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the reason I lean to the side like this is that I guess somebody had given me a rumor that he had passed on.
No.
He said that.
Okay,
Trust me, that would have been news.
Yeah, he's proper. I say legend.
No, I mean, I agree, because I'm going to say this. You see how the promenade looks now?
Yeah.
the only memory of how the promenade used to look then is my memory of short call music video.
It's General
Grant, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, General Grant. We don't want to get over it. My bad.
Yeah.
But like the point is like
That era too.
that era now.
Now that listen, and that is before social media. That is before. So when it had celebrities and when it had big artists in the country, like you see them on TV.
Around that time, it was Ghetto Flex, it was Rocky,
Yeah,
it was
Rocky.
General Grant. It was even done Yardfall Crew.
Yardfall Crew.
That was coming off a kiss, the kind of caravan.
Ataclan.
Yeah.
Yo,
all
that's
that.
Dan it up is legendary.
Hold on.
No, yeah.
I was
Kindred.
because this kind of perplexes my mind a little bit. I feel I had to say this. I don't know if Hardy said it there. I might have slipped out in my thought process of him possibly passing, but it's not as light as you saying things in his personal life. Let's talk the truth. I'm gonna talk facts. We had a meeting. In the first meeting, it almost seemed like this is my interpretation of it. The energy in the room was basically saying, "Fuck you all wanted a piece of the song. I want the whole song."
Because his first demands was rather high.
This is what I'm saying. I remember Ole saying that.
Yeah.
But I openly say it.
The first interaction was, nah, bro, Ole can't take this. We had to get a lot out of it.
And while I'll say this to you, a lot of things I never said I'll say here. At the time, Mevon's response to him, mentally I was in a space of Mevon, we need to be nice to this guy. But looking back on it now when Mevon stood off it, that was the absolute right move.
Yeah.
Mevon saying, boy, fuck that talk, dog. Hard luck.
That's not do the song.
No, fuck that, right? And he's saying it in the room, by the way, with him there. And even making like slight things like, bro, you taking us for a fucking joke
If I'm
or
not
something.
mistaken, it was something like 80% he was asking for.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
You know, his opening words were, to be honest, bro, he gave an example of another song that had a similar kind of vibes. He started to say that the song had been pitched to be sampled by Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
Tory
Lanez.
But this is the thing, I remember Ole Man saying that.
And that he's like, if I really wanted to, I could have taken 100%.
Yeah.
And when he said that, Mevon was like, don't disrespect fucking me. He didn't say them words, but he's like, you ain't gonna disrespect fucking me in my studio, bro. I know that for sure. Right?
I remember
And then subsequently to that, bro, my interpretation of it, and this is not factual, this is just how I read the actions. Sure, people have things going on in their lives. He had it. All they have to do is sign and send back. That ain't rocket science.
No, but Rod, we follow up many times too.
No, that's what I was about to say.
Times,
I was about to say. All he had to do was sign. It wasn't rocket science. So if I don't care what he had going on in his life, I interpreted that to mean that you ain't gonna give me the cut I want. I go keep telling him, like, yeah, Ole, go ahead. And not say nothing. And if I had to guess, like I have sat down because when Mood was doing better than I even realized, and I caught on to that idea, I had to ask, well, he's seeing this and we telling him, why would he not support it? The only conclusion I could come to, and this is not fact, this is just my interpretation, was that he was waiting to see how big it could blow, so that
come and take
and come and say, well, fuck all, if Ole already want this song to thing,
Pay.
I taking this much, and the only reason I felt that way is because the first interaction, when he tried to make it look like he giving us a nice little blinder. And when quite frankly, we all know the truth. It was a monster tune in the 90s. Right? And not that that's it. And we want to make it relevant in 2017. We should be working together. Mm-hmm. That was the attitude we had. And it seemed differently the other way around. So Hardy gave a little rundown. I think we need to speak about the fact that it wasn't, the energy wasn't reciprocal.
Yeah, but
I
remember that though.
Yeah, I remember that. And as I say, it's a weird thing because you don't know what's going on in somebody's personal life. So I would have been the person listening to them, right? And I know that, I'm not talking somebody's business public like this.
You don't have to.
Like certain people in his family were sick, certain people, so it's like dealing with a sick parent now and stuff, like, your mindset might be the right place, but at the same time,
and take it from me, I also.
But Hardy, you remember why I told you I didn't buy that? The reason I told Hardy I didn't buy that is if that we both know who the member was who was sick, and the reason I had an issue with all that was your family member is sick, but you sat in my studio or our studio telling us that you knew that the potential of the song, which is why you wanted so much of the money. If you really cared about it that much, you put yourself in a position to make money.
I mean,
but that's just me though. Maybe I'm being a little harsh.
Well, one thing I realized in this industry, artists are artists, managers are managers, lawyers are lawyers, business people are business people. Sometimes artists are artists, and artists stay being artists, and artists want to be artists.
That's a good point.
And I don't know what are the facts of that situation. But at the end of the day, it did affect to me where the song could have gone.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. I could speak from a personal experience. We just cleared a Super Blue song, and we did it through a company and through a publisher. That way we don't deal on this shit.
Right. Okay. So there we go. So let me get a little bit of information on that. So give me a bit of a step by step. You're definitely going to give me a clippable here. So let me go.
Right.
Give me the step by step process. So you want to clear the sample, right? I don't want you to sell it out because you want the tune to drop and I want to be a bit of a surprise, right?
Yeah.
So you clear the sample. So to clear, you've heard the sample and you want the sample. Give me step one.
Well, so just to break it down in terms of the legal and technical side of it, a sample is actually taking a clip of the actual master, like the actual song.
Right.
Like you remember like in the Kanye era, like how Kanye, the Chipmunk voice era. Right. That is actually taking a sample of the master.
With mood was not sample.
With mood it was an interpolation.
Yeah.
An interpolation.
Right. No, I know mood is an interpolation. Right. I really talk about the Super Blue sample now. So I know mood is an interpolation.
So mood is an interpolation, right? And Super Blue, the Super Blue sample that we did is an interpolation as well.
Oh, it's an interpolation. Okay, got you.
What I could share with you all is we had to go through. So there's a US publisher and there's a UK Europe publisher.
Is it up because his song is registered with these people or something?
Yeah.
Or? Right. Okay.
Right. So just to say it straight, and there's no knock to Super Blue's team or anything. I big respect to them, but they're not in control of it.
Got you.
The publisher is in control of it. So my brother Alex, who is a Latin producer DJ, he had to work through a company. I can't remember the name of the company right now. I could get it after my phone.
Right, that's fine. Yeah.
But through that company brokers the so it's like a cover license basically, you know,
Okay.
like there's a cover license. And it just simplifies it because it's like it took a while because I think I spoke to you all about it and we only got it approved 2 weeks ago.
And how long you think you would have spoken about
Probably like 3 months. Like
Okay,
3
got
months
you.
or something.
All right.
So it took a little while. Advance was paid, I'm not gonna say how much. A split was agreed upon and that kind of stuff. And I just feel that's more seamless because as I say, artists will be artists. But when you're dealing with the publishers, it's just business now.
Yeah.
And I think that was the lesson. So if we moving forward, if we're doing stuff together, we want to sample even local songs. I think that's the better direction. Because dealing with the Danita people.
Dealing with the artists themselves.
Dealing with Ghetto Flex. I think at the end of the day, they're artists now. So
And in some cases, the artists may not even be the master
they're not
owners,
being the master owner. So
Yeah.
so we might, and I mean, not to knock,
completely
I mean,
waste of
love to Saucy, love to Denise Webb, an amazing person. But with the Shensia situation,
Yeah, that's a
Right.
classic example too.
Nasty, who is the producer of the song or the arranger of the song, sued after. So I think Denise would have given Shensia the blessing, but she's not
The person in control.
and stuff like that happens all the time in Trinidad and in the Caribbean with music and stuff now.
Where you go to the wrong people to
go
get
to the wrong
verification
people.
or validation.
And I think what's cool about and going back to Trapso, if you want to sample a Trapso song, shameless plug, you go through the three of us here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that in other situations, I think that nobody knows who to go to. Nobody knows.
Gotcha.
And the artist, I say the artist will say, well, it's my song. It's my song, you know?
Trapso was actually sampled already, if people don't know this, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anson.
Anson sample pumping for tag him up with Jimmy and
With Jimmy and
yeah.
But he told us about it.
He didn't tell us about
He would never even know.
No.
You never even,
It's on the top.
And I think legally, you have to recognize it.
Oopsie.
You know, so if you are, so with a Super Blue song, you can recognize. Are you ready to go? No, and but I say lesson learned with that Ghetto Flex song with Moon. I think it did hamper success in some way. I mean, at the end of the day, it made us less, including System to it, including Teja, everybody, less invested just because the business
Wasn't right.
It wasn't organized, right?
you know?
Yeah.
And
And study, yeah?
No, because
study,
and
no
yes,
effort,
and
no
because
effort, and that's our biggest tune.
I remember we were supposed to do a music video for that.
Yes, exactly.
I remember I was supposed to jump
And
into
all
the
of
music
that
for
just
yeah, and all of that
paused
paused
because
because of the
it was
business.
highly anticipated.
But we imagine
I
if we
think
did,
because
though.
we had a big meeting and a storyboard and all
Yeah,
of these sorts.
yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I remember how the business went wrong because you'll explain that to me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
we are under real pressure for the business side of things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, in the initial meeting, as Rod said, there were some initial demands that Ghetto made, and I spoke out. I was like, a total disagreement with it now.
Yeah.
And eventually we came to a resolution where we agreed on a percentage,
Yeah.
and Hardy did up the documentation
The contract.
contract,
Have the email,
and
yeah.
we sent the
Sure.
email.
Yeah.
No, nothing. I think you're not bouncing him up in the grocery or something like that in St. James and you ask him about it. And he said, yeah, I will sign it, whatever. Send a next email.
I kept on following up on WhatsApp and it was always something. And I said, no problem.
And we just leave it.
Yeah. And I guess after a while, I just realized, why?
When I stopped caring is when Hardy literally said, "You fellas, I get on this and I get on." And this is a man who's I know his patience and diplomacy is at the highest fucking level I've ever seen.
At that time.
So if Marcus is saying fuck that, you know it's a fuck that now.
Dan, but you know, is he hiding it too? Yeah. Even from the copyright standpoint, like we never get the song registered. We never get sent us.
I registered with BMI. Yeah. So it is registered with BMI, but with cut.
Yeah, like in terms of us getting royalty money.
It is registered with cut.
No,
but that was a process too. Remember, we had to do this like 3-4 times.
I've gotten from it before though, from BMI. Like when I watch my BMI readout, it's very small. It's incredibly tiny.
So as I say, and I think there are different ways to do things. I think that's the next thing we could go into now. I think that is, we casually had this conversation just now. Like there's no one way, bro. And I just feel like in Trinidad, they teach us that if you don't kiss this person now, so if you don't go with the cool crowd, if you don't stay with the cliques, you're fucked. And I think that something I've learned over the past 4 or 5 years of my life, Jed, is just that there's a whole out there, bro. You know?
Yeah. And we definitely going to get into that. All right. So the last song I remember was "Don't Blush Baby," right? That's the last song I remember.
Mood was the last song. Don't Blush Baby. It was a year before Mood.
Was serious?
Yeah. Mood is our last ever released.
No, that's correct because
Mood is the last one.
"Don't Blush Baby" was coming.
Wasn't it Taxes?
Nah,
Taxes was the last one.
Taxes 2016.
No. Taxes is the last one.
Check the receipts.
Taxes is the last one. Taxes is the last one.
No. Mood is the last tune.
Nah, Taxes is the last tune. 100% Taxes.
I bet my life. I look it up all the time, boy. Don't Blush Baby, then Taxes, then Mood.
If you're wrong, you gotta drink this over.
Say less, man. All right. I bet my life. If I lost, I cut off my balls live on this podcast. I cut off my toties straight live on this camera right now.
Taxes was August 2016.
Mood was May 2017 or March 2017. One of the two is a M for sure.
Taxes is before Mood, 100%.
Yeah, I saw that because
Mood was May 2017.
M, I tell you.
Hey, I don't mind it.
First, because say what? I just go back now. I just really.
No, but I just go back to, I just look at all them and so randomly, you know, like Isaac Rudder, all these videos, I just look back at them randomly, but as for some reason, Taxes come up after Mood on my thing, because I remember Taxes being the last crazy music video you all did.
Yeah, definitely, it was.
So, okay, you know what, let me take that back. Taxes is the last music video I remember seeing.
Factuals.
Not song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. It's that.
And actually, after Taxes, we had Brockout too.
I can't remember when Brockout was.
Yeah, but you see, Brockout and thing never really.
But I think, honestly,
Brockout was the year before.
Mood did cause a dent in terms of, at least I can say personally, in terms of motivation.
Because here we're going on. I remember that same year, y'all was supposed to release TTT.
Yeah.
And would you, so this is where I want to get into. I don't want to use the word decline because I hate that, but it's just the first word that came to mind. Because I was anticipating TTT.
Brockout was 2015.
Yeah. I said it's the year before.
I anticipated TTT because I was like, all right, album dog, TTT, kind of cool. Throwback to. I looking at concepts. TTT, let's go. I ready to put on my old TV there because TTT is the station that I'm tuned into right now.
For sure.
And I was like, shucks, boy, Independence, they know TTT. And it wasn't even a situation where y'all announced that it's not coming. Yeah. It was just silence. Yeah. What was the mood in the camp then, boy?
Before you say that, I just want to say TTT was actually supposed to be 2016, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2000. It wasn't Mood. Mood was after.
Mood was after.
I would say a few interesting things happened. Like we actually saw Kaiser Blues Unplugged and Chill.
Right.
We actually started Unplugged and Chill to save money to contribute towards the album, and I would say that's one thing that took us on as a journey. And then disenchantment from Mood and the reception. I think the pulse of the nation and the streets and just people in Trinidad. That's when Trinidad and Zest started to.
No. Trinidad and Zest didn't start after. And also TTT was supposed to come on before Mood. From my memory, this is what happened.
Yeah.
What went on is we were supposed to drop the project, and for this how I remember it. We had some discrepancies the year that with the singles we dropped that year. The first single we dropped was "Don't Blush," right? And quickly, not like quickly after that, it became a task to get onto Calpe. And I'm going to interpret that in 2022 as at the time, he didn't necessarily feel comfortable doing the song, but didn't know how to say it to our face. Right? So that was the first thing because we planned to do a video for that, which threw us off. Then we dropped taxes late and we had numerous delays with the music video.
And GT went away.
But GT moved away already. Yeah. We already known.
Got Jerome shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? GT had gone, I think GT had gone the year before, 2015. End of 2015 is when he left.
Yeah.
And then, during that time period, Brave had for years promised that he was going to do an EP. He had gone to, was it LA? I think he had gone to LA that year to do an EP with our same mixing engineer, Giandri. And something went on where Giandri couldn't make it to LA, but his ticket was already booked. And then when he went, and obviously LA is super fucking expensive, he spent about some money. And as he came back, something went wrong with his car and he had to pay insurance. So what really stopped TTT was money.
Financial, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then right after that, a personal scene happened in my personal life, which honestly changed my relationship with my family forever, which also cost me my money. And I really think what stopped TTT was just the financial part.
Yeah.
That was really it. Like things didn't pan out the way they were supposed to. Even, you know, like...
Not to cut you, Rod, but to be honest, most creatives in this country, people think lack of motivation is stop projects.
It's lack of money.
And I think that
9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, I personally believe it's...
You see, our next thing too, we talk about we never pay for radio play and we never do these things, but everything that was done was through our own pocket.
Out of pocket.
Every single song
and I can speak
funded by three of us.
I can speak personally too. I mean, I have a social media company, I Consultant Limited, and
shameless plug,
right? I know.
I was working for him at the time.
Yeah, I know everyone, right? I know everyone.
Yeah, I know everybody, and I actually scaled down my company for Trapso. I went from business partner, 4 employees, like 6 or 7 clients, to be like, nah, this is shocking me. I want to do this. I believe in this. So that was also a thing too. It's less income, and it's like with Trapso is like, as is the law of diminishing returns. It's like the more we put out, the less money we was making.
Listen,
you know, and I think that was disheartening too.
Listen, the more we put out, the more we invested, because every year we actually made it a thing. We was like, fellas, every year we have to take a step up. You know, like we actually did challenge ourselves to do that now. So even every year it took more money.
You record and we started to record by this guy.
Right, by Javon, right?
Yeah, we started to rent studio space.
Why I said the law of diminishing returns? Gigs now. Like the main income we was getting at the time. This is before streaming locally.
Yeah, streaming wasn't even a thing.
So it's like you're spending all this money on music video, etc. But then Rod and my fee was $3,000 split between 2 people. That's $1,500 a person. And I could count on one hand the amount of promoters that paid us in full.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with that too now. You're dealing with, we put in all this effort, and then the gig slowed down. I remember a kind of mental breaking point for me. I think Rich Homie Kwan came down. And I knew the promoter personally. And I messaged him. I was like, yo, bro, like, you know, we want to open for Rich Homie Kwan. They ought to pay us, you know. Just want to put it on our portfolio, etc., etc. No response. Think somebody else tried on their end. No response. So between that, it was like, why? You know, it's not a question of why now.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, at the same time, just when I met Bad Royal, and I got this opportunity to just try something out to them. You know, they came down for Carnival to meet with Bungie. Bungie and Fayan was busy. I ended up taking them around. They're like, bro, you took care of us like a brother. Come Ultra. Went Ultra, and it opened me to a whole different market. Yeah. So I started to see...
Turn your mic a little bit now.
Yeah, sorry. I started to see a dip in hip-hop too in Trinidad now. Yeah. As in, like, the movement. I mean, we were always pushing for a movement. Mev opened his studio. Rads and I opened our arms to so many people.
Of course.
And it was reciprocated. And yeah, that's just the next thing that happened. There was no movement.
Bro, listen to me.
Yeah.
You think so, boy?
Yeah, for sure.
Because here why I say that with a confused voice now. But you said it was Mood, but as I said, TTT failed before Mood. TTT failed in 2016. That's when we was dropping TTT. Mood came after that now. And the reason why I don't necessarily feel like there wasn't a movement is that at that point in time, Class his intention at that point in time was to almost be another person doing what we were trying to do, which was open up his arms to other people. So at the time, I think in 2017 we also dropped the Litty Committee song, and at that time it was happening. I really see. I serious, bro. It really was money, dog.
Right, serious. I know. I believe.
Yeah, it really was just the cash, bro.
But what happened to that? What happened to that music video? What happened to that song?
He took it off YouTube. I don't know why.
Okay.
Well,
Because I went looking for that.
Yeah.
I still have it on my phone, but I was surprised to see it removed.
I on Spotify. You have to put on a VPN to play that, dog.
Wow.
No joke. You have to put on a
I'll
VPN to play
check
that
that
song.
Yeah.
Heights.
I
But
mean,
I thought
yeah.
he took it down. And I figured maybe I didn't know how to take it. And if he didn't like the song anymore, I didn't know if like.
Well,
he was
I
feeling
think
other
what I
people
remember
likes.
to go going out and as I say going to clubs and parties and thing. To me, the energy changed now. In
It
terms
was.
of
Hip hop was actually on the
yeah,
decline.
it was on the
locally
decline.
too.
And I think
Dancehall was actually
I think
picking up.
I got that
I
foresight.
couldn't play Litty Committee because I have a Trinidad Spotify too.
Yeah.
So I couldn't play it until
Oh, no, but I
I
think the video
I
don't
have
probably
the
tell us
American
something.
Spotify.
That's why.
That's why probably. Yeah.
I had to put on my VPN because I originally had anyway. That's not what the podcast is about.
Yeah.
I had to put on a VPN to play Litty Committee, and I will show you after. But anyway, I just wanted to make a point that I believe I started to suffer from, where I never felt like I was properly rewarded for the amount of hard work that I put in, and I started to dislike. People must realize that I don't even post my own shit. It's because in my heart of hearts, I don't like video anymore.
Serious.
Brother, let me tell you something. When I do Versace for Rod, there was legitimately nothing like that in the Caribbean.
That was one of the hardest
Zero,
videos
bro, zero.
at the time.
At the time, no, and obviously at the
nothing.
time, because now it's technology more accessible. I shot that on a camera sideways in front of a cloth. Not even a proper green screen, eh? I just buy a neon cloth in your face and I say, right, let me try something. Bro, nothing, dog. Like, you will get your hair and thing, you know. Nothing, dog. I started to push the concept of lyric. I bring back lyric videos now.
Yeah,
shout out
facts,
to Ataclan, who is the pioneer of lyric videos in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? When I was doing my research, I saw Ataclan was only the first person to drop a lyric video. But in terms of putting people in their lyric videos, that was me.
Yeah, you were the first for sure. That Baila Mami especially too.
Not even Baila. Forget Baila.
Teja.
No, forget
Yeah.
Teja. Crystal Kane and Mr. Renzo on a rhythm. Kevin
Yeah,
Lou.
dog.
I
Don't
put
forget
them
that.
in lyric videos. That same year, at the end of the year, that's when shout out to Marsh, but I'm a boy. Shout out Remedy lyric video drop.
Yeah.
And I remember freaking out, dog. Because I teaching myself. I didn't know where to get the resource for animation. And when I saw the level of animation, I was like, dog, I cannot match this. Only to learn Future was packs, right? It was literally packs. I didn't have no credit card at the time, so I couldn't buy no packs online.
Yeah.
I do every one of my lyric videos was manual, dog. As in thing. Bro, I send myself legit mad thinking, why am I not being recognized, dog, and I'm paying out all my work? Is it because I'm just not going out? I legit, when I disappeared from 2015 to 2017, I was gone. Before I come back with the tips, I was gone, let me be real.
Yeah.
I was gone. I was totally gone.
I was messaging trying to find out what's going on.
Bro, I was
going through it.
mentally gone, dog. And I mean, other personal things, but you see that part,
Yeah.
I was mentally gone. And I was like legit just letting people down for a good while. I was like, I talking about me, it shouldn't be that case. But like, you know, I would have tried to do music videos for Silver and rock and I used to put in all this work. And then there was a point in time I'd reach out doing the lyric video and I'd be like, dog, am I going to do this and then just not get recognized again and again and again? I started dropping my video late and all kind of thing. Like, I was gone, dog. I was gone through, dog. And I was always curious to find out if the same thing happened to Oli with TTT. And that's why I asked it now.
Well,
but it was just cash, but fair enough.
Well, I think different experiences, but I can speak about personal stuff. I think, remember I said earlier, you don't need right things in the wrong market. I think I really experienced that now. Like that first time I went Miami Music Week, I felt like in my own country, we just dropped one of the, we remade a 90s classic in an amazing way. And the response was just lukewarm. When I say like from DJs and, you know, like it was getting some buzz, but it wasn't, you know, like that was supposed to literally.
Wait, what? Nah, bro. Mood was monstrous, bro.
Like DJs, radio.
You find, no, I that's what I mean too. At least from, sorry.
Yeah.
At least my memory of that year.
Now mood that get real play.
The reason, only reason, no, everywhere. The only reason I say why I saying, bro, is because I was kind of surprised personally at how much play mood got for the little work we had put in, and also what was a common theme from. This is my experience. Maybe I'm watching it wrong. I will admit that, but from what I saw that year, bro, mood was that song that nearly everybody was playing, but nobody knew it was us.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, to the point where even DJs didn't know it was us. Real talk. Like I used to hear Mood all the time. I used to be lying in a car and Mood come on the radio. I was like, holy shit, it's playing.
I'll admit, I would have heard Mood randomly.
Now, Mood played a lot, bro. At least from my experience.
But again, it's the reward.
Yeah.
I feel like the reward didn't come in.
I guess so. I guess for me, I remember Hot 93.
But if you're not seeing actual returns
compared to the other songs,
if you're not seeing real returns, then I could understand what Hardy said it was lukewarm, because that's what lukewarm is.
For now, boy, they used to be like Mark Hardy and Young Rod. For Mood, they just used to play the song.
Now, but see, it goes back to what a point you raised earlier.
Yeah,
Mood was never a grong song.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's fact.
And I think this is when there was a kind of EDM. Remember when this went viral and voice?
The tropical house.
Yeah, the tropical house.
I do remember, I might be wrong, but I do remember there was, in terms of the grong was, that's what I mentioned, the maybe not Trinidad, but like Escata and certain artists was bumping.
There was the beginning of what we call Zest.
There was no name Zest at the time.
But let me be real. I think, let you talk business here. The business of it, which is booking.
Yeah,
was just not, because remember, you're putting in money because we were always about raising the standard. And I say it's a law of diminishing returns. It's like the more we put out, the less income we make in,
bro.
And I think that as a business person especially, I started to see things a little different now. And I think that my little experience going to Miami Music Week, it was almost like, wait now, this market is so welcoming compared to another market where I'm from, where it's like we have to keep proving. We don't prove ourselves. And people just want to keep us out now. So it just gives some perspective.
You know, it's a funny thing about it. You say like it's a market where you're from, but like in soca, that is what it is.
Yeah.
In every single year, you could have a hit this year.
Yeah.
And you could be gone.
You could be gone next year, bro.
And I mentioned that even like somewhere like Fireball. Do you
think that's because somebody made a comment there? I can't remember who. But somebody said we need to stop putting a timestamp on soca.
Yeah, like soca 2022. Soca.
Yeah.
And I think we
are the only genre who does that.
I mentioned somebody like Fireball because I consider Fireball a friend, right?
I don't think we should stop, but I'll say why after.
Yeah. Now I just think that for what Fireball did in terms of having one of the few soca songs to really cross over internationally, and the lack of respect for this man I have seen is so disheartening. I think just seeing is an industry where if you don't have a hit song this year, you fall off.
Yeah, you're done. You're gone.
Yeah, it's a reset every single year.
Every single year. And to see how people have to
prove
themselves every year to fit in. And I think for me, I just always knew from a very young age, this is not for me. And I think that I started to feel like that with what we're doing now. And I think that to this day, I just see other markets are so open, and other markets are so... Bro. And same goes for you, Jimmy. Like,
listen, you speaking to my heart right now, and I'm telling you, bro.
I want to say this openly in this podcast, bro. Yeah. No, Mevon and Hardy know this, and a few people know this as well. Right?
Openly in the podcast.
In 2007, I moved to France. I went to school there for a year to get a degree in French, and I can tell you for an absolute fact, bro. Right, the biggest song for the entire fucking year that I was there was Fireball, What I Want. I want to repeat that. I lived in Dijon, France, not even fucking Paris, where it was monstrous as well.
Hold on there, Ron.
Right? I lived in Dijon, France from September 2017, sorry, 2007, my mistake, to April 2008. The biggest song from the time I landed in Dijon, because I knew I went out the first night I was there, I went out to the club. To the last day I was in France was Fireball's What I Want. It was the biggest fucking song.
And you want to hear something crazy? And as I say,
First-hand experience.
Fireball is my friend. There's no knock to him. But do you know that Fireball has never had the opportunity, as far as I know, I don't know if anything changed in the last time him and I spoke.
Travel and perform it? Never.
I don't think he's been to France.
Nah, he's not.
And
from what I understand,
I know he went to LA to shoot the video. I know that he's had some opportunities otherwise recently, right? And I think that that just showed me another side of this country in terms of, as Mevon was saying, like, is yeah as good as the last thing you release now. And I look at other markets and dancehall artists, they're dancehall. Like when I was in Chicago, there was a soca boat ride, soca dancehall boat ride, and there was Denise Belfort and Tifa, one or two other people. And it's like in other markets, people who have catalog could talk.
Yeah.
In Trinidad, it's about who hot now and it's about hype now. And it is what it is. And as I say, as I mentioned earlier, you have to choose the frequency you want to be in. And for me personally, as I say, even with Trapso, it disheartens me sometimes that we are forgotten. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel, I will be honest, I feel disrespected that in conversations, people don't say you influencers, or people don't, I don't need it. But I'm just saying, it's like, I feel like, yeah, like, you know, what, on the holiday, they might play on our boy. On the holiday, they might play, you know. Right, but I just feel like in terms of what we did, I think it's not fully appreciated. And not only us, there are people like, I mentioned, like, Treason is my biggest influence. And like, when I hear Treason song on the radio, I get nostalgia, I get excited. But the new generation is
one of my favorite soca songs. It goes like, tell them we not leaving. No way is that Treason.
That's Treason.
Yeah. I know it's Treason.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs ever. My favorite soca songs are kind of
the left field ones. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I like my top Bungee Warrior Cry still.
Yeah, that's our big song.
Yeah. Still. I went mental when I heard that song. I don't know why. I went mental when I heard that song. I was like, bro, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this, dog? That Three Sons, extreme. Honestly, even though KMC, 3 Miles.
Nah, KMC.
One of my favorites.
And as I say,
KMC in his prime
no,
was
people can say what they want about KMC, but yo, that man inspire
real people, bro.
That
KMC
man is
was
a
operating
legend,
like
bro.
how Bounty Killer was operating.
For sure.
Yeah,
like he used to bring up artists
under him and that kind of stuff. And I think
by the way, I want to say this openly. The only one. The rest don't do it.
Yeah, a lot of people
and that's
do it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Even now, KMC still doing that.
Yeah.
KMC have a studio.
Yeah,
and like he are young producers and young artists.
And I know he likes, like, we talk randomly from time to time, and it's like, I know he likes what we do. And he respects what we do and that kind of stuff.
Can I say something just before we jump off the topic? I do want to say too, right, that I when I hear people say, right, that Trinidadians only mess with Trinidadians when they make it outside of Trinidad, I am one of I want to say one of. I am the only person who said that's not true. Trinidadians don't care even when you do that. A Fireball to me is a prime example of that,
bro.
Right? Trinidadians don't care.
Bro, let me tell you something. Now, first of all, I would say
that's not a criticism.
I don't believe it's a Trinidad thing, but I would say this: when people say, people say, nah, it's only when you bust outside and you come back is when you get forward. I'm like, what country are they talking about?
So here my perspective.
Because just to finish, because I believe you have to be popping, dog. You can't just go out and do a one-shot thing that doesn't leak into our market, unless it leaks into our market. If you do something that probably light up, let me say for instance, a Chicago specific scene, a specific scene in Chicago, and you say you do that, and you come back here.
I want
IDK dog.
I want to ask you. Okay, actually, let me Mevon talk and then I'll say something after.
Pony reverb.
But Harry prepping Priyan, yes. He's like, he knows something coming.
All right, Mevon, take it away.
I shan't see her.
No, I would say that
that's the classic Shensia.
So here, this is Trinidad to me, right?
Now, elaborate on that. Just
okay.
Elaborate on that, Mevon.
Shensia.
Whose album I find was good, by the way. I just want to say that. I actually enjoyed the album.
But Jamaicans didn't fuck with it.
Yeah, I know. I like the album though.
Shensia 21 Savage. She had his Quavo.
Yeah.
I
liked the album, and I also liked the feature on the Kanye album.
They see Jamaicans
This is
always
me.
say, yeah, the dancer yard before you dance abroad.
Abroad, yeah,
That
facts.
Jamaican thing. But I mean, Shinsia had hits in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, and it goes to your point is, it's not a Trinidad thing. Shinsia did it outside with the top people at the time, Megan Thee Stallion and thing.
I always
and
say
Jamaicans not on her.
I think people like winners, right? Especially people from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And it's like
Facts.
that album was not win.
Yeah,
It had no hits.
It was just a listenable, good
Right.
album. It wasn't like monstrous.
And I think
You know?
how it was positioned as this was going to be her debut album that changed, But
the topic was the topic of the conversation was you had to make it outside in order to
for
be
people to respect
acceptable.
you. That's not true.
fellas, I can share something
And
personal.
the Shensia example is a prime example of that is not
reality.
not reality, and is not only a Trinidadian thing.
No, I know. I was just saying that I hear say that here, and I know that's nonsense.
Yeah.
No, I
it's
truly
yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
most things we complain about is not just Trinidad.
Yeah.
It's not just
but-
Trinidad.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the problem is we are so small that
it in your
everybody
face.
knows everybody, so it's right here.
Well,
But go ahead.
I would say something like one experience I had that blew my mind is like, and it was a humbling experience. I performed at Lollapalooza with Bad Royal, right?
Right.
And that experience was like when I tell people, I just came from Chicago, and I tell people that they watch me automatically like a star.
Yeah.
Because like you performed at Lollapalooza. I'm like, yeah, I say, well, it wasn't like I wasn't the, like the headline
Classic.
artist. I was just a guest artist. They're like, bro, you perform at, I remember coming back from Lollapalooza in the airport in Trinidad and just coming, and it was almost like I took a step down because I wasn't here. And it's like people kind of forgot about, it's almost like I got punished.
For going,
No, but
absolute facts.
I think what I was going to say is, and it took a little emotional maturity on my end too to understand this. I could go to a club in Chicago and see Nicki Minaj in VIP and take a picture with Nicki Minaj and post it, and people be like, congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats, bro.
Good-
Oh
a
my
good
God,
look,
you're
a good
making
look,
it.
a
And then
good look.
getting messages from girls, hey, hun. Long time I ain't talk. Hey, handsome.
Hey, big head.
Hey, big head. As opposed to actually... Yeah. No, I say as opposed to actually...
Yeah, for real.
As I say, as opposed to a Lollapalooza or
Nice,
like Netflix. I mean, some of my music was featured on Netflix. However, it happened, right? But it's like those things don't equate to a picture of a celebrity.
Yeah.
Me and I think that made me realize, oh, this is what Trinidad is. Okay, cool. I
Pictures.
respect it. You know what? Cool.
Optics.
And this is not to knock anybody, but there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that happen with collaborations between big
Bro,
soca artists.
the community.
Yeah, no, just saying like it happens where there's a lot of smoke and mirrors where when I tell American industry friends about, yo, so and so just came for Carnival and did a song with so and so, they'll be like, who? They'll be like, yo, nobody fucking with that person in America right now. And I think that it gives me perspective now, and it just, you have to look at this market. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, you get less upset. You get less emotionally.
I get real perspective.
Yeah, you get perspective
Lots of
and
it.
stuff now. And I think,
Perspective for sure.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I just wanted to
it's
share
a
that.
pussy old
That's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pussy old thing.
Yeah.
A question I wanted to ask. It really did slip my mind though, and I'll probably get back to it after. It was a technical question along the lines of We'll get to that. Right? No, we'll get to that. So really and truly now, as we've come to, not necessarily, it's not a decline, right? Because y'all are up, y'all are back up now, right? Rod, I want to ask you, you've seen when you dropped the lemon pepper refix, for lack of a better term, I don't know if that's the correct term, right? I listened to that. It's like you and Mike Wise. Tell them all as a fan, I listened to that. Then you dropped that one over
The Migos.
Nah, not the Migos. I talking
Soulja
about
Boy?
the Drake. You drop over the Drake. Callaloo Confessions. What you call it?
Oh,
Calabash Confessions. Something. So we
no,
call it?
Oil Down Poetry.
Oil Down
Poetry.
Oil down poetry.
And you went in on Oil Down Poetry, right? So, do you feel? First of all, I remember when you said it's not Young Rod no more. You've gone back to just calling yourself Isaac Rudder, right?
Yeah.
Let me start with what's the reason for that transition?
All right, so let me say two things, right? One, the reason I did that was because when I was young, Rod, I was I'll say this straight up, bro. I said it early on. My father actively did not support me, and actively, to me, this is behind the scenes, fought me. Right? Both my parents did. Like they set out to see me fail. And even when I was being successful at Trapso, they were having personal conversations, planning to try to stop me. It was a disheartening thing. But I had known that for so long that in a way I didn't necessarily want my identity to be tapped to my father. As a matter of fact, Marcus could say this now. I used to beg this guy, don't fucking say I'm David Rudder's son.
Before let me just explain one.
No, I know why I didn't do it.
But let me explain to the public.
I know why I did it though.
And it's just the truth. Eh?
Yeah.
I remember before all of us came together as a collective, I started Lil Buzz as Markadi and Matrini, right?
Yeah.
So I used to be on Synergy a lot.
That's true.
And all of a sudden I showed up with somebody by my side.
Yeah.
And people, they had the energy of who is that? And Trinidad is a kind of weird place. So I had to actively give a welcoming. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like
Introduction.
It's almost like you go by somebody's house and you're like, yeah, this is my brethren's son. So.
Yeah.
So I did that just to give
Make it
him
easier.
a warm welcome rather than them be like, who is this person with my, you know?
Yeah.
So that is the reason.
No, but I want to say it. Like, he's said that before, and I respect it. And I think, I'll say this honestly here too. I think if he understood, because at that point in time, we weren't close like that. After he understood the dynamic of the relationship, I think if he knew that from the jump,
He probably wouldn't, yeah.
He probably
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
done
that'd be
it.
different,
But he
yeah.
didn't. What he was actually doing was being a real big bro.
Yeah.
He was trying to look out for me and say, hey, bro, I want people to respect you.
Yeah.
So I'm not even upset at it at all.
But if you know Hardy, that's who he is.
Of course, he's a
diplomat. He's a
lovely
diplomat.
human,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's one of the best ever humans. Right? This is
Take out bullshit.
Bro, just for how good of a just for good of a human you are.
Put it in the article, Joe. Put it in the natural.
You
I'll
dig?
take it.
Right?
I'll take a shot.
They could
too.
go without it.
But let's take a shot too.
So
We're taking a shot for that.
with Young Rud was a way. The irony in that is that most people don't know this too, right? I have to give a small backstory. What started me to be a professional musician, when I was the age of 11 years old, I moved to the Netherlands. When I left to go to the Netherlands, my brother bought me Jay-Z's Dynasty album. At this point in time, I wasn't even into rap like that.
You told me this.
And then I got into the
told
song
me this.
on that album called Where Have You Been?
Where Have You
Which
Been?
is Jay-Z talking to his father about where have you been. Exactly.
You told me, and you did
Yeah.
a remix to it, eh?
Yes, I did.
You and you
But
told me
I
this,
never
told her
released
like
it.
a fanboy.
I never
You
released
played
it.
that for me though. I told her like a fanboy. You did a remix.
Yeah,
I
right?
know that. I know that.
And
But you stand.
I just stand. I tell her that. I tell her, bro, listen to me though. I'm telling you. After I saw, nah, boy, I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, nah, bro. I went down a
Got
rabbit
pictures
hole.
of Rod on your wall.
Nah, that's I went down a rabbit hole.
So long and short, the reason I'm a professional musician is my father hurting my feelings. I hate to say it, though, it's the truth now. So like without Jay-Z, I wouldn't even be here releasing that song. It wouldn't have no Isaac Rudder. And my whole life, my persona of being Young Rod was to show that I could carve out my own lane without ever being known by him. And then I started to realize after, I had to be honest with myself. I've been doing music since I was a kid. The first ever song I wrote, I have to say facts, co-wrote with my father was at the age of like 6 or 7, which is, no, not even that. Oh, Shims. Okay, no, sorry. My song that I co-wrote, because Big Up Pimpin' is a song that me and my older brother gave ideas on when my father was a youth. When I was a youth, sorry. I'm on the song on the hook. I mean, my personal song was actually a remix to Little Black Boy from Gypsy called Little Green Boy, which is about aliens. My father helped me co-write that when I was 6 or 7 years old, bro. And I had to be honest. I was like, bro, everything in music is because this man introduced me. Even if I don't think I don't fuck with some of the human side of things, I have to be honest. I'm here because of him. And
Bro.
And when I accepted that reality, I was like, another thing is I had a perspective shift in life.
Therapy session.
I had a perspective shift in life. I realized that what a child is, and this made me even more want to be a father, is a child is you living on in the world. That's what it is. When you have a kid, that's you surviving through, as in your physical form surviving through another being, half of you. And when I realized that, I'm like, no matter what I want to do, no matter how I want to fight, and no matter how I want to run from it or say, fuck you.
That's part of it.
That's a reality. And no matter, and by denying it, I was holding back the
Limiting
power.
yourself.
I was gonna say, I don't know when this is gonna drop, but when you all hear what I've
5th of July, 5th of
when
July.
you all hear what I'm coming with, you're gonna understand
5th.
why I changed to Isaac Rudder.
The FIF.
I had to let
5th.
go and shade that shed that heavy energy and accept who I was. And I am Isaac. My real name obviously is Isaac Rudder. But when it comes to making music, why I wanted to do it, Mevon knows me to a T, so he can tell you here now. In the earlies, before I started the commercial stuff, I was a rappity rapper like Nas and like Hove. I wanted to be like a rappity MC and change the world with my topical content. And at the time with rap music, it was cool, but it was never going to do it in Trinidad. Now what I have, that's what my next aim. My dad shifted the way the culture was perspective. Shifted the cultural perspective on music. My dad changed that. I respect that and love it and feel grateful that when those things were being created, he said, hey, come here when he was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and be in the studio when I doing that. Come on stage 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old and sing a song. That I wouldn't be who I am without that. So I had to do it to access my highest level.
Gee.
You know? There's a respect.
My days. That's you know when Joe Rogan is sport, he's for you by the way. But you know when them men is sport, segments and they put like this weird title. I definitely titling that Isaac Rudder releases, sheds his identity and comes into his power.
Yeah.
That is that 2-minute clip. That was amazing though.
But that's real.
Yeah.
No, that was no, because and I know what you think about this, bro, because of how honest this conversation is. Again, I really don't want to make it about me, because about Oli. You notice I pop Jamil Kashif Bellerin and some of my stuff, right? You might notice on Facebook on some kind of thing. I'm not talking, I say Jamil Kashif Bellerin. I legally added that name to my name because that's what my mother wanted to name me.
Serious?
My mother wanted to name me Kashif.
She was a powerful name.
Right, no, but here. My mother wanted to name me Kashif. Now my dad named me Jamil. Now, I'm fine with that. I've learned what I took from my dad.
From that to this after you say that.
My dad is persistent. I am persistent. That's what I get from him. But I also interpret something real serious from my mom's, which is a giving spirit was. My mother's a giving spirit. I know I have that. And I say, I don't think I could really be unless I carry that intent what my mother had now. Bro, you know what Kashif means, dog? Kashif means revealer, dog. When I add that to my name, dog, I'm not gonna lie, bro. It has certain things in my life that start to actually change. I tell them, nah, call me Kashif just for a little while. I used to tell like someone female, I say, call me Kashif, dog. Let's call me Kashif just for a little while. I want to see something. And I just looked up the meaning of it and I'm like, this is the power here now, dog. And that's why I say it now. I am Jamil Kashif Bellerin. That's why I say I added it legally. I changed my passport. My passport have Kashif in it. ID next, they don't put that on your, apparently they don't put your middle name on your like driver's license, so fire for it.
But they just
ID
put
next.
initial.
Right. Yeah. They didn't give me my bloody initial. I come with all my documents and give me no initial, nothing. But I'll put it on my ID. But serious thing, dog.
Bro,
go ahead.
What you just said there, obviously I can't go into every single reason why I changed it. But another epiphany that I had during that time period is this. I'm not sure if anybody out there is a subscriber of astrology, but that's fine. They say that Tauruses and Leos get along very well. My dad's born May 5th, he's a Taurus. I'm born August 7th, I'm a Leo. We were like best friends, bro. There was a shift in that relationship when I moved to the Netherlands, right? That's what I imagine broke up. My dad was my best friend as a kid. And the fucking heights in that for me to say this is this. My dad wanted to name me David Jr. My mom was like, fuck that. The compromise was to give me his middle name, so I'm Isaac Michael Rudder. But the heights in this, dog, is that my dad did a series when he was young called Sugarcane Arrows. It's on YouTube if you guys want to look it up. Sugarcane Arrows. It's a old school Trinidad TV series done by Banyan, which is now Gael.
Yeah.
Right? And in that show, you know what my dad's best friend name was on that show? Isaac. And when I had that fucking realization, you know what it showed me? For years I was toting on the trauma. But I realized that at some point in time I had to be a man. And being part of being a responsible man in your family is healing traumas and growing past the bullshit. And I realized I have to be the real fucking me. And heal past the trauma and the bullshit, but the music has to match that. And the only way I can do that is if I can be my real self. Young Rod was a persona. I am fucking Isaac Rudder, dog. That is the fuck I am.
All right, fellas. So I like how it make full circle to the self-development, but that was just Rod part, boy. Jesus Christ. I still had to ask
that segment there.
I still had to ask Mevon, what is he seeing these days? I asked Brave, what is he seeing these days to lock it. So I mean, I don't know if anybody topping that therapy session. But Mevon, I see that you have truly taken command of, no, first of all, your self-employed journey.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you personally about that. I was like, bro, I see you with this.
Yeah, you gotta get something for that for real, bro.
I respect it.
Yeah.
We also had some personal conversations because I remember when I made a small rant and I was talking about I hate when creatives work so hard Sunday to Sunday and they can't even afford a little vacation in Tobago. And I remember you messaging me. I said, bro, I felt that, dog, especially the part where you can't even relax yourself and take a little vacation in Tobago. And I remember a few months or a year later, I saw my boy Mev taking a little vacation in St. Vincent. So I was like, I said, I like
Speaking of which, I actually going to Tobago this weekend.
Yeah, fam. So Mev, how things going these days, my brother?
I mean, I've always been an optimist. I've always been a cup is half full kind of guy. So I would never come out and say things bad because I have life, I have family, I have friends, and I have the right mindset to make it happen. So I'll never come out and say things bad. You know, things are actually looking good. I am in the studio working, grinding, working on myself in between the pandemic and everything that we went through. You know, there's a lot of self-reflection, obviously a lot of thinking, a lot of strategy, a lot of changes, and a lot of adapting and basically trying to maneuver through the future and carve a way forward, you know. So recently, as I said earlier in the show, you know, it's all about just me working towards the next carnival and the next Christmas season and even some international stuff too. I have a lot of things in the pipeline that are yet to come out, you know. I can't really speak about it as yet, you know, but I've been doing a lot of work, you know, behind the scenes. Soon it will be revealed. But I've just been working really hard, you know. I've I've been working really hard. Yeah, so I mean, my story is not as passionate as deep as Rod. Pause. But
Pause. Rod gave some advice, so now I want to ask you, right? Tell me, there might be a young producer who has gone through the same journey that you all might have gone through. Not identical, but what I mean to say is you start off passionately doing a genre that is not necessarily a right market fit.
Yeah.
And they're telling themselves, all right, maybe I need to be a bit practical and do a little soca because that is the most lucrative thing.
I mean, to rewind a little bit too, I remember you talk about the entrepreneurship of actually leaving your job to do this full time. And I would start there. You know, when Trapso began, I had a full-time job.
Right.
You know, I was doing this part-time and I was doing this for the love of it. You know, I wasn't the one making money. When they do shows, I wasn't getting no money from that. Right. I was simply investing my time and effort because I loved doing this and the energy was right. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing this purely for the love of it. When I decided to leave my job in 2018, right? When I decided to leave my job in 2018, that's when I started to learn and adapt and develop a business model that worked for me. You know, because...
You share some insight into that business model?
Sure. Well, for one, hip hop was not paying for a producer.
Right.
Right? As I said, as an artist in their case.
Well, then it sounds like hip hop is not paying, period.
Yeah. Well, and at that time, the world was transitioning from physical copies of albums into streaming.
Right.
We was moving from the physical age to the digital age. Yes, it was before, but I feel like that 2016, 17, 18, yeah, that was when it was really started
for physical copies.
Exactly. So around that time, and we was going through that transitionary space of being physical to digital. So you have to learn this. You have to learn about streaming. You have to learn about playlisting. You have to learn about contracts and master shares and royalty splits and all of these kind of things. And I didn't necessarily know that before.
Good. So we could section this. So you suggest that
learn the business.
Learning the business.
Yeah, you need to learn your craft.
You're looking into playlisting, how streaming works.
Yeah.
Contracts,
distribution, publishing,
shares, distribution,
contracts.
Publishing, contracts.
Yeah.
The University of YouTube.
No, of course. But you need some people don't know what they don't know. So you see, even if Mevon is not giving something totally detailed, the fact that he's giving them a good start, learn playlisting, learn about streaming, learn about contracts, learn about distribution, learn about publishing. So now it's up to you to go to the University of YouTube and search those specific
You would be surprised how many soca artists don't know about these things.
I wouldn't be surprised. We used to talk about it.
And I'm talking about seasoned. And I'm talking about seasoned artists.
But we used to talk about this, dog. We used to talk about how out of touch men seem to be.
No, but I'm saying now that I have transitioned.
You get our suspicions factually.
First-hand experience, dog. There are people, not necessarily artists, but like writers, producers who don't really know these things.
Excuse me, by the way, fellas.
And they feel,
if I do anything left, a little tipsy, I ain't gonna lie.
No,
but that's happening in every podcast.
In soca, it's so based on live performances and shows, and we get caught up in that. You know,
absolutely.
I have the biggest song for the fete, and I mash up and I have a soca monarch, and I have a power soca, and I have a road match, and we get caught up in that. And for me, remember, I came from a corporate background, so my mentality is slightly different. Anybody who work with me, they kind of see that I am a creative hybrid. Because I am still very much organized and corporate. Even when I run my business, I'm very much on time. So if I tell somebody 10 o'clock, where is 10 past 10, where you is? Creatives do operate like that. You be just kind of anyhow now. But for me, time is money. And I'm not saying I can't be flexible by the any day's business now, boy. So if it is we trying to run, I have a business to run. I have a studio to operate. So if it is you telling me, coming by me for a time, I need to be disciplined enough to uphold that time frame now, boy. You know, so all of these things is things that I learned to, in my corporate life, I transition I used it into the transition into my new life as a entrepreneur and a business owner. You know, so these things, as I said, I'm like a hybrid because I could be creative, but I could also be very strict and very rigid when it comes to timing and being organized and following up with emails. Even when I type in emails and things, I'll be like, please see attached file with masters. You know, so I'm very much a corporate creative.
Good term.
You know, corporate creative. Yeah, so I try to blend the two because I understand, and we was talking about this downstairs, about artists who are artists and managers who are managers. And we kind of have to wear the same hats. We kind of have to wear multiple hats in this industry.
Absolutely.
You know, artists kind of manage themselves. They need to organize their own publishing, their own distribution, organize their own contracts, respond to emails, deal with promoters. We do everything. So as a producer and a business owner, it's the same. You know, I kind of have to do everything. I do my own invoices. I do my own jingles. I do my own productions. I mix in. So all of these things now, all of these things that you need to learn to do because, as I said before, when I was doing hip-hop, I didn't have to do no invoice for nobody because they ain't getting paid.
So would you say, just for the sake of not just a clippable, but for the sake of giving a direct line of advice, this transition to soca is definitely a more lucrative thing,
For sure.
especially when
For sure.
your income truly depends on it. I'm talking about, you're just living in your mom's house and maybe you're under 25 and you're kind of chilling and me want to do no soca. If you really want to create a proper business model, the wisest thing is to really tackle the soca market.
Well, in Trinidad,
That's what I'm saying in
yes,
this market.
in this market, I would definitely say doing soca music is your best option to be profitable.
Right. Okay, good.
Right? Because I do, as everyone knows, I do parang music also.
That's the next question.
And I'm quite successful at it.
I would argue.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Quincy Jones or Parang.
I would argue.
Some might say that.
This is if it have big up Joshua. If it have a pan man, he's parang man. 100%. Parang man.
Onlyfacts.com/real talk.
No, serious.
.php.
Serious. And my next question, now we're going over to parang. Is it that was parang a stroke of luck or was parang some strategic? Because I would argue that with Rome, 100% strategic.
No.
Yeah. So is Silting is a stroke of luck?
for Rome. Yeah. So wait, I'll tell you the story behind me and parang and my journey with parang. So ever since I was small, my mom has been a parang fan. And I would go to parang shows with her at a young age.
You reach parang, I think?
Yeah. So I used to do these things,
I reach parang for parang,
you know,
because
and being a young person, obviously, early into it now. But when I started doing music, and this was when I was working, so this was during the Trapso time and hip hop and thing. Christmas time would have been a Christmas time. I live in a Christmas house.
Real
Because
Trinidad.
a real Trinidadian house. So my birthday is in Carnival. My birthday is February 17th. So every season I adapt. But me personally, I like hip hop and R&B. So during the year, I doing hip hop and R&B and I'm working with these guys and we're doing trap. So when Christmas come around, my mother blasting Kenny J and Baron and all these people. So it's parang in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to try and do a little thing. And this was the explicit Christmas for them. This really sound like a parang at all.
Yeah.
It sounds digital.
Yeah.
But
Naughty or Nice was more parang.
because it was more strategic. The more I started to do it, I realized that, hey, I challenge myself and no.
No, here's a thing about it. So in the realm of psychology, like for the law of conformity, people would always say that you eventually lose to your environment. Do you feel like that's what happened to you? Like because you're in this parang environment, it's like, oh, I might, bro. Oh God, Leroy, where your mother going? And
Nah, I wouldn't say like that because I actually enjoy parang music.
Okay,
too,
fair
now.
enough. Fair
You
enough.
know, I feel Christmas time is a nice time for me because, as I said, it's a time of family, it's a time of love. And well, I'm a Roman Catholic, so I grew up in a Catholic household as well, now, boy. So I understand the reason for the season beyond the festivities. You know, so I grew up in that kind of environment and that background. So I understand the importance of Christmas. You know, not just the parang and the ham and the pastel and thing. I understand what it means now. You know, so Christmas time was also a joyous and a spiritual time for me, personally. And as I said, it kind of...
So eventually it manifests itself then. In here,
It is.
eventually
It's
it come out, right?
But it was never premeditated.
That's what I mean. It just come out.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that I lost to it now. You know,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
It came out because
yeah.
now that you explained that, okay, no, you enjoy it in the first place and you break down the religious background and stuff. I said, no, I love Christmas. I am into it. I understand
Yeah.
it. It's embedded in my brain. It manifests.
It's just something I didn't set out to do.
Right. I mean,
It was
manifests. I hate to
literally
use the
just
word,
fun. It was literally just fun.
I would
And
say-
Hardy and Rod was
yeah.
around and they did the first song on my rhythm.
I would say as well, you did it
I was
your
just
way,
thinking
you
about
know.
it.
I did it my way, for sure.
Because
for
here
sure.
heights, bro. Here heights. Here, you talk there, I don't know if you see me smiling because I was just reminiscing on that time now.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I'll have to say about Mevon's, all music, but just specifically the parang. It was the first one you just said it sounded digital. But you know what I like the most about the explicit Christmas rhythm? It was the only rhythm where I didn't feel like you were trying to make parang. is the one rhythm where you made a paragon and Mickey was like, hey, well, I have a paragon, you know. And we were smiling about that, happy to just do something on it. Yeah. And it was one of the most
organic. It was organic.
Even watching you smile and it come to fruition. And like it felt so right.
Yeah.
You know, the organic feel of it. It was just so right now.
I did everything for that rhythm, you know.
Yeah.
I produced that rhythm, record that rhythm, mix that rhythm, do the artwork for that rhythm, distribute that rhythm.
Music video.
Right? We do the music video, we plan the music video, fund the music video. Every single thing I did for that project, bro. Every single thing.
And I think that before Trapso, I would say that was a stepping stone for us publicly in terms of people started to recognize the camp before.
Older folks too.
No, but you know what's funny about it, Jed? Up to this day, stick the clove in the ham.
It's a monster. And come for Christmas, it's a display, dog.
I'm a quick joke, sorry to interrupt, member, right? But sometimes I was in the gas station on Rice Road, and this woman from Guyana saw me. She's like, Guyana? I know you from singing. You said you're singing the clove song? I was like, that to this day. And Mikey song.
Mikey song is playing 105.
Mikey video.
Yeah.
No, but like right after, I mean, we know the other main parang rhythm.
Yeah.
But like always the next legendary parang rhythm, like North United, because even with this guy song Happiness, like
Russell
big tune, that's a big tune.
Yeah.
That's genuinely a big tune. Yeah. So like, I mean, you hear this is Christmas, Christmas, and then right after.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dog,
she just want happiness.
I honestly believe that after telling these stories here, a lot of success came from being organic. When it is we put too much thought into it, to me it didn't necessarily work out how we wanted it to. But the origins and the intent behind a lot of the first songs and the first projects that we did, those were the most successful songs.
Could I put asterisks there? Because I'm naturally a thinker, and I don't want to necessarily put out the idea that, okay, when you put too much thought into something, it just fall apart. Yeah. What I would say is when you put too much of
a burden,
external considerations into your project when it's failed. Hey, why I say that?
Yeah,
because organic doesn't mean you ain't thinking. No, organic just means you're thinking about the craft.
Yes.
Versus when you start to think about how it's going to be interpreted externally, that's when it is messed up.
And you know what? Who have a lot of things to take credit for this? You see, Rod? Rod was definitely the main man behind bringing us back to earth when it comes to enjoying what we was doing. And this is parang, this is Trapso, this is every single thing. Rod was always the firm believer and the most positive person when it comes to anything that we was doing. Rod was the believer. Okay. He was always the believer.
Listen, I find this
I want to say that though, but only when it mattered, because it had songs where I didn't fuck with.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't feel the vibe.
Even by saying that you're a believer.
Yeah.
Because you saying to yourself that I do not believe in this.
Yeah.
This song is S, and I used to say.
S, short for shit.
Yeah. He said this song is S, and we can't do it this way, and he was real passionate about what he was doing.
Let me pay 10 tips. You see that song? I find that hilarious, bro. That's real S.
That's real S, dog. That's good S.
That's real S.
Why bringing that back? I should have gone, dog. Anybody tell me now? That's
S. No joke. I have never stopped saying that. I still say that now. That's good S, though.
So the dynamic of all of us, Hardy is very diplomatic and very strategic. Rod is very passionate, and I am very technical. So you have those three main ingredients coming together.
That the real choice.
I'm also overly intricate, sometimes to a fault.
Yeah. But the good parts, the diplomacy, technicality, and passion, that the Triforce.
I think the mix really is something special.
Strategy, technicality, and passion.
But you know the funny thing is, you have those three differing strengths, but what made us truly strong? And something I've never said. A lot of things, even though Israel talk, I keep real things silent. What we connected on, all three of us were genuinely ourselves and not afraid to be that.
Yeah.
Nothing could have influenced us to not, and also by the way, I think all of us had a secret kind of dedication to pushing boundaries. Even if I may have been too extreme and wanted to push our boundary, everybody wanted to push boundaries. And when we met on that level, then we could have said, okay, what do you have that I don't have? And those are the three things that meshed subsequently to us wanting those things on a equal level.
You know, it's the funny thing, I didn't even think I answered Jimmy's question.
I don't think so.
No.
What was the question?
No, the question was, no, you did. Because the question I asked you was, do you think it's more lucrative to go into soca? You said yes, and then we went down. So you absolutely answered the question.
Yes.
What I trying to get out of this, again, what I'm trying to get out of this, so give you I want to get information. And honestly, besides revealing certain things, so far the information we are getting through your story and through your experiences, we are building a case study, though. Right? We have covered several topics, and I still have to get to what Braveboy up to these days. I mean, you talk about it with Brave House and stuff like that, but what I really want to get into with Braveboy quickly, because right now we are hour and 15 minutes. I'm loving it, but we are hour and 15 minutes.
Let me just say one thing before I move to Braveboy, and I would summarize. As somebody who has moved from the corporate life to be entrepreneurship, owning a business, I would tell you the keys to my success.
Right.
I don't think I reached where I'm going yet, but so far in my 4 years of doing it, I can tell you what I have done. And that's one, learning the business. What if that means soca, that means hip hop, that means EDM, that means zest. Learn your market. Because every market operates totally differently. Right? Learn the business, learn your market, right? Learn your craft. Because you can't be doing hip-hop music and your tones and thing not sounding like what out there. Or you can't be doing zest and your production sounding flat. You can't be doing soca and you're using hip-hop tones and all them kind of thing. You need to learn your craft. We learn where you fit in and master that. So learn the business, right? What was the second one?
Learn your market.
Learn your market, right? Your market. Learn your market, learn your business, and learn your craft. When you learn those three things, then I think that you could develop a proper business model to move forward. Those three things will definitely help you.
And do you feel like so too many people think that, so you see how you transition to soca from Trapso, right? Now somebody who might be trying to be on their high horse might say, you're selling out because you're going to soca. You're just going for a money grab. Could you tell me if you feel like you have moved away from your authentic self, or do you feel like there's a give and take? It's like, okay, I might not necessarily, so a young producer might not necessarily.
Mevon starting soca dirty up as I meet this guy.
No, but this is not, and this is the thing. I know Mevon started in soca, but my point is, so you would say that that's kind of authentically you, or do you think it's a trade, give and take? What it is?
I kind of answered this question already. I am 100% Trinidadian. I am in the carnival. I am in the Christmas. Diwali, I'm in my curtain. My neighbor is a Hindu, and I eat in prasad, and I eat in roti, and light in beer.
Spiritual Baptist.
I ring in my bell. No, but I am invested in every single thing Trinidadian, boy. Right? My last name is Indian, my mother black. Right? I am a Douglas. I don't know how else to be but Trinidadian now, boy.
Got you.
Right? I am 100% Trinidadian. Trinbagonian. So. Right? From the day I'm born. You know, how I look.
Yeah. All right.
I have gone to interviews where people, Mr. Soodeen, and they walk in and it's like, Mr. Soodeen? You know what I'm saying? Because they're not expecting to see a Rasta man.
Yeah.
They're expecting to see an Indian fella.
Right, of course.
So I'm just saying now, like, I have grown to really accept who I am, and I'm always been invested in every single aspect of being Trinidadian. Right? So soca is part of me, parang is part of me, Trapso is part of me. Anything that is Trinidadian or Trinbagonian, I am there.
You do not chutney?
If I could.
You didn't do one yet?
I've never done a chutney, but I am definitely open to doing a chutney.
I got Twitter dog.
Braveboy, your journey in terms of the songs you're releasing is well documented. So I don't necessarily think there's information that is not out there. But to wrap and bring it in, what I really want to ask you is that, first things first, why did you decide what was the reason for Mark Hardy to Braveboy? That's one. And next thing I want to ask is that transition from not really leaving, but stepping away from the dependency on the local market and going global. What was that like step by step? So first, let's start with why Mark Hardy to Braveboy. I remember a story where you said that somebody had the username Braveboy and they kind of talked to them and they paid for the username and something like that. But why? Why from Mark Hardy to Braveboy?
So initially it was because, releasing music as Mark Hardy, I started to get some problems with other musicians on Apple Music, Spotify, etc. called Mark Hardy, like a jazz musician, a rock musician, and they were white, of course. And then there was I think it was an NHL coach who was on sexual assault charges named Mark Hardy. Wow. Then there was a Satanist on YouTube named Mark Hardy. And
bro, he was great. I love that.
I was like, you know what? There's a sign, yeah. So there was definitely the legal aspect,
bro.
But on a more.
I didn't need to applaud for the Satanism. My bad. I wanted to put the eagle. They're like, Satanism.
Yeah. And I think on a more deep level, I think I think it's somewhat public knowledge. My dad is sick. My dad has Parkinson's now. Heavy into dementia and stuff. So I think it was almost like losing, like as Rudder was saying, best friend. Like my father was really like my best friend and like my biggest idol, and it's like losing my father. Like he's still here with me, but he's not coherent enough to really be, there for me, talking, advice, that kind of stuff. And I started to think about carrying on the Braveboy legacy. So it was partially legal and partially, and also partially, I think I had to grow into being a brave boy. I think like in school, I think in school I was always cool with everybody, always a popular guy, but still had a timid energy and a timid. And
it's like you wanted to be likable. I used to tell it. I feel like Mark. I feel like it's too aligned, Mark. I feel like it's too aligned for people to just kind of like I ain't sure. But no.
Well, I think the older I got, the more I started to still be myself, but more. It's only sometimes when I think about, wait, you was somebody from Taiwan. Like, what the fuck you doing, bro? And I think I realized there's some boldness and bravery to what I do, or what I'm doing right now. And I had to grow into it. I wasn't this person, I would say, even 5 years ago, And I think I grew into just being bold and just like, this is what I doing. And I really don't care what y'all think. Like, I believe in myself. So I think that all of those things kind of package who I am right now. I'm not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to take risks. And I think that I had to grow into that. That wasn't something that I always was. That was a reason that had to do with my dad's health, had to do with growth as a man, Certain things that I was interested in before, not really interested in now, like, even like being a socialite and the things that were important to me a few years ago, not really important to me right now and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Therapy, though.
I'm not the interviewer, right? But this is just asking as somebody who was personally, it might sound like a joke, but I'm not fucking around. I was genuinely a fan of this, bro. Are you 100% done with the raw ad-lib?
No, I still do.
Okay, cool. For some reason, I didn't hit as much now.
Yeah, I still do that. I still do that.
Yeah, that's the hard.
Yeah. But it was, maybe I'm crazy to say this, but I feel it was way more consistent before.
Well, I feel like in them all the features,
way more now. Like I associate with you way more now than
I think you had to. I had to grow as an artist, especially in the international market, and try different things. And I didn't want everything to be the same one. And two,
but only that is Mark Hardy.
It's so unique, bro.
Yeah.
Internationally unique now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I said it, but some songs I don't say my name. Some songs I say my name.
We really know what he's saying. This is
No, like as I say, I've learned so much over the past 5 years, just trying so many different genres, and I learned so much with each song, each release I do. I just learned so much about what music is, like the different styles of music, the different markets, and who I want to be, which part of me I want to present on this particular track, So it's been a journey regarding that.
So now, moving on to these global connections, right? You mentioned Bad Royale earlier. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's really what opened you up to the idea
So it's crazy because even before Trapso, I mean, I think both Rod and Mevon know this. Like, I mean, randomly, I was on an Albanian artist album, you know,
Right.
like as a featured artist, RD on Boyupi, and this was Universal Germany, and this shit just happened, man. Like, I had no idea what publishing was, I had no idea what masters was, or any other shit is, and you know, like, I always had, I would say the international market was attracted to me then,
Okay.
but I didn't understand it, no.
You know, understand why?
And I had 1 or 2 songs in those markets, but I didn't understand what that meant. And I think it was really a journey because the EDM opened me up to a global market.
Right.
So that's why I'm loyal to EDM. I like EDM. I don't love EDM, right? But EDM is the reason for everything you see happening right now.
Right.
Because my networking skill has been releasing a song, you know, DJs play it, tag the DJ who play it, and I message them, say, yo, is what kind of music? Or a DJ reach out to me and say, hey, you want to do a song? And I was like, what other kind of music you have? And that has been my networking. That's how I have all these links, EDM.
So right.
Before you go on, I want to just say one thing.
Rod, you've been saying one thing.
No. I just want to forget now. Do remember you also had Living My Life prior. Like
I was saying like those songs.
He's been doing that.
That's what I was saying. For people, like these songs happened, and I didn't really understand it. That's what I mean. I didn't understand what it was, what the Swiss market was, or what the Albanian. This just happened, and I was like, well, you know.
So tip number 1 from Mark Hardy in terms of tip on how to network.
Right.
Do you really believe
Sliding
that
a
reaching
DM,
out in a DM is proper technique?
So I mean, I actually did a seminar or symposium with Music TT on this, and I told people exactly what to do, and afterwards they still like, I still don't get. It's not as simple as sliding a DM now. It's like, what do you have to offer now? Networking is, all right, you see when you come on Braveboy's profile, who is this artist? You see, like, if you come on my profile
Obviously,
now, you see, I was just in Chicago. I just released a music video. I just did this. I just did it's thing now. You see, I have a song on Netflix. You see, so it's like I want to fuck with this person, and as whether it's a young producer, whether it's an artist, whether it's a big EDM producer, whether it is somebody random, my profile sells me now.
So you create. So in other words, you create a fuckable profile.
Yeah, you still have to have something to offer.
Fuck with me.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's about how you approach people.
Stop
Fuck with me. You know, I got it.
Confidence.
Yeah.
And loose confidence and freedom sponsor banks too.
So something I did. I mean, Mevon Rod know this. I did a song called Pronto, which was me attempting to do a reggaeton. I don't know nothing about the reggaeton market. The most I spoke to Renzo and Anita a few times about it. I knew nothing about what to do. Just did a song and put it out. And then I decided to just use the hashtag reggaeton DJ, hashtag reggaeton, and just message people. The first person I met, the first person to respond to me is Alex Mura, who I just linked with in Chicago. So that's the universe working in my favor, but it's about how you approach people. I always say, hey, I'm an artist from Trinidad and Tobago experimenting with this type of music.
Right. So give me an appropriate DM message right now for an artist. So step 1.
Template. Yeah,
Step 1, fuckable profile. Fuck with
yeah, no,
right?
I think because a few people have...
They will click on their profile to see who it is messaging.
Right.
Yeah, and I would say that because there are people like 300 or 400 followers who tell me they did what I was said in the seminar, and I was like, well, your profile not really marketable now. First of all, you have 300 or 400 followers, and you're barely posting anything.
Yeah.
You barely have anything. Why should I...
Right, so,
you know?
So start with build your profile.
And it come like, dog, it come like dating.
That's true.
Man or woman.
That's true.
Why should I go out with you?
Yeah.
Why should I fuck with you?
Sell the best.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's either you're intelligent, it's either you're good looking, it's either you have
rich.
charisma, it's either you have money,
Yeah.
it's either you have something, but you must have something about you for people to be attracted to you.
Can I butt in it?
Absolutely.
I know this Hardy segment.
Absolutely.
But, Casey used to have the Audio Essentials thing, right? Shout out to Casey from Precision. And I attended the last one in 2019, right before the pandemic. And one of the things that they said in that, and it stuck with me, is that when it is you reaching out to people who you don't know, remember, this person doesn't know you, doesn't care about you or anything that you're doing. You have to sell yourself and you have to market yourself. So to add to what Hardy was saying is that your profile should suggest that you are in fact a musician, an artist, a producer, whatever you are, right? If it is you slide into somebody DMs and be like, hey, bro, wanna collab? And I go on your profile, and your profile is football and tennis or memes and quotes alone. How can I take you seriously? So in other words, that's one. You need to prove that you are who you say you are, right? And,
or at least display.
And two, you need to provide value. It is not only about saying who you are, but how can I provide or add value to this relationship, right? And it goes to what he was saying about in the dating realm. It's like, why would I want to go out with you? How can you provide value? So if in your message, they spoke about that, there's like, you have to say, introduce yourself, who you are, but not just say that. Your profile should back it up.
Exactly. And
but anybody could say, I'm a producer from wherever. But when they go on your profile, you're not living that life.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to say that. Two, you have to say what you want out of this.
Yeah.
And three, how can you add value? So let me give you a prime example. Hey Rod, my name is Explicit Mevon. I'm a music producer from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a big fan of you. You should. I'm not. I am engaged in your content. I love so and so song from you. Should. I'm not. I have done my homework and I love your material. I'm knowledgeable on the topic and you as an artist. And I would love for you to collaborate on so and so and track. So and so and track. Reach out to me. So and so and we could discuss further or something like that. So you show people your intent is genuine
and your interest is there.
And you describe who you are, and then
and
the value could come in the conversation after.
And I think for me, like how I would tell you straight up why I send the same message to 100 people, right? Just would and even a simple thing. If you're talking to a woman, say hey. If you're talking to a guy, say hey bro. Little things like that. Or like if you see somebody who's from Colombia, you say hey. Or I would say in Spanish, say hola. You know, you say like I see you from Colombia. I actually did a song with somebody from Colombia. Have some kind of relatability. Correct. But also, I mean, this is a real thing. You had to be good too. As in, you should have to be good. So it's like if I send everybody I sent them, like you say, over the pandemic, I message 300 people. I would say at least 250 people responded to me.
Wow.
Right? Responded. At least maybe like 150 of them I actually connected with. You know? Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You actually, and I would say, hey, I'm an artist from Trinidad. I would say upcoming artist from Trinidad and Tobago, right? And I would say I've been experimenting with reggaeton music or Afrobeats or something. And I wanted to know if it's a DJ, if you could just take a listen to my music and just give me some honest feedback. You're not asking them to play it. You're not asking them. You're just asking. If you ask somebody just to listen to someone and give you honest feedback, that'll be a cunt to not take you on. And I've been ignored. I've seen. And they don't let her deter you, you know.
Because
like,
people don't owe you anything.
You have nobody owe you nothing.
To be specific, what he's saying, it's a numbers game now. As in, like, it's almost like tracking girls. Like, if you want to get you to a vast number of women, you shoot your shot 5,000 times, knowing, dog.
They're going to get braced 4,000 times.
But 1,000, not a 4,000. That's still real people. It's kind of that same.
No facts. And I've had 50 collabs out of a 300 message blast. It's a lot.
I've had negative experiences. There's a popular DJ from London named, I think her name is J something, J-O-T, and she put me in my place. Like I was doing that networking so much, I was tired. And I was just starting to be on autopilot, sending messages, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in listening to my music? And her show format, she's a DJ on a London radio station, right? And her format is not my style of music. No. She's like, did you even listen to?
Yeah, do you even know him?
And I apologize, like, yo, like, I'm real sorry. It's just like, honestly, I've just been doing this whole day, and and she was like, please listen to my show and see if your music fits, if you know, and in the future, please, you know, you have to be more respectful. So I got put in my place too, but all those were learning lessons and humbling lessons. But generally, so, like, I've gotten such, even like I tell them this story, like Zumba. One day I wake up, I was like, I ain't gonna get my song signed to Zumba. And Jamil, I saw a message, dancer, Zumba instructor, Zumba, until like I reached like 40. And then I forget who I messaged. 2 days passed, one girl message and say, hey, I just heard your song and you're very talented. And actually my boyfriend knows the head of music for Zumba. I want to connect you. That's how I got it. You know, like within 2 days, I email up one.
Persistency and determination.
I understand it's like you had a, but it's a, I can't do that every day now. And the reason why I can't do it every day is because either being a zone to do it now is a skill.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like you have to.
And
It's like
energy taker.
it's an energy taker now. So it's like I can't like I actually take time and be like, all right, this week I'm going to network and I'm gonna put more frequency in this zone and then also I'll be honest, bro, I got real fortunate with the pandemic because every DJ producer, everybody was just home and awkward. So bro, I would message people like this girl, the same girl who connected me with the Zumba people. She had like 200,000 followers. And I was like, before I messaged her, I was like, she not gonna respond. Well, whatever. And she responded to me, you know, and it's just like I got so many response. Like I got a response from somebody who writes for Mark Anthony, right? Yep. And he just gave me advice, you know, and like it's just so many people had downtime and people were responsive and that's what I'm saying. But it is a skill. And it's something I'm realizing. It's definitely
I share the same sentiments with him too because during the pandemic I made a lot of connections. Yeah. Right. And I think the pandemic was a blessing for me.
For sure.
Right. But the pandemic is actually when I got consistent income for some stream.
And I get the most complain and I was like, dog, I make the most money during the pandemic.
Ever since I left my job. Ever since I started working with Ike, I've made the most money I could
during the pandemic. Yeah.
Let me tell you a random, and Rod know this, I had a random job opportunity to translate mumble rap.
Oh. That killed fucking
bro, I got paid to translate mumble rap.
Wow.
Because they didn't know what the fuck this man was saying. And this person paid me US to translate mumble rap.
For what?
It was an artist and they needed to have his lyrics.
Just now.
So they asked me to translate his lyrics.
During the pandemic, you had a job doing what?
Translating mumble rap. And that shit, I wouldn't lie, that shit was not easy. Yeah?
I heard it and I can tell you. I know what the fuck that man was saying.
And I had to do it, you know. And as I say, other things happen. As I say, like Tej, like I've put Tej onto some licensing people and some other people. I've made some money off of that. I ghost wrote for a few people and I did a ghost wrote for art for a corporate company in Germany. And like so like a lot of things. And that's what I was saying, consistency now. Like I've now become the go-to Caribbean person. You know, like if you need a Caribbean voice, if you need a Caribbean link, if you need a Caribbean, but that comes with consistency, you know, and so for me, like networking is a lifestyle, man. It's not it's something it's a lifestyle.
I had to join the Hardy networking school. I feel like that.
Nah, bro. I'll say I just being myself.
HNS.
He have advantage, dog. Like he's one like a big imposing guy, so he already commands like human nature, like organic. Like natural respect,
yeah.
And then on top of that, bro, he's so nice and he fucking smiling his dog. Like, people
not seeing me on what I say, like people not like they not meet him in person, so it's like your social media profile is important.
No, but besides that, right?
Yeah.
Like, me, I have grown into being able to I could go out and be charismatic. I could do that 100%. That's not hard for me. What has always been difficult for me in terms of networking is just like, I'm so focused on trying to build something good is that I sometimes don't realize that, you know, you have good stuff already, you know. Take that and go network. And I think that's the mistake has been. No, I don't wanna close, but it's been an hour and a half and I feel like I wanna wrap. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind continuing, but I also wanna let you guys go because it's like I want to continue because Minister 12.
Yeah, I ain't even beaten it down. This is great.
Yeah. I know. I have been. Let me tell you something. I have been not good.
Yeah.
For a while, even though I am here and I'm in this space, I have been in my own way from like, nah, bro, you're not ready for this. To do that yet. And I said, you know what, Jimmy, you have to do this podcast. Call these fellas, they will reach. I was even bumming to reach out to all them, man. Not thinking all that. No. Not thinking all that with a course or nothing, you know. I just felt it wouldn't happen. Yeah. Not because all that with a course. I know all them, man. We'd be cool though. We have been through too much, even in separate lives and something. But I was just like, I don't think I will get Rod. I had Mevon in a room, boy. So I said, look, let me phone.
I try to link with them.
So I said, let me see if I can get him in a room. And you see, when all the men said yes, though, I was so. First of all, I was real grateful and I was real happy. But you see, after this conversation, it just reminded me that, bro, you have what it takes, and you could really do it. And I hope that translates to everybody, because we ain't even done yet. I want to get element back for our next part sometime soon, dog. Honestly, because I want to get into a pure business aspect. And I know that at that point, you will have your releases out that we look into here. You will definitely, I hope the things that you can't talk about, I remember, I hope the things that you can't talk about come out. And I trust, and I will have you release a tune today. I see something drop today.
Yeah,
something dropped today.
If you break in between this podcast, when I see that.
I saw it right before the week. Some dropped today, right? Some dropped today.
And some drop in next week.
Right. And I really want to break down those processes a bit more. Like, what I mean is like, describe the Latin market. Tell me how somebody could get into the Latin market. Tell me how somebody should approach this and that. I want to know a bit more about, okay, how do you really make these connections? What does it take? And I want Rod to really break down what is his creative process going forward, because the man opened up some doors in terms of therapy. But like I said, it's been an hour and we're going on an hour and 40 minutes for part 2 of the episode. And I feel I don't want to get element fatigued, right? I don't mind going. I could pause, go and take a piss and come back.
I was saying if you can take a 5-minute pause for me to just drain the list bliss, you know, about that.
we could do a 5 more.
You want to come back for real?
Yeah.
All right. So here what we're going to do. We're going to take our next break.
We're going in overtime.
We're going to take our next break. And we're going into tips E, which is tips extra.
Tips E. I like that. No, I love that.
So we're going into tips E, which is the tips extra. So we're getting an extra amount of Mev, Hardy, and Rod.
Yes. Boom, 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 boom.
Sorry, Mev, Mevon, and Rod. I really not contributing that S. That S that stands for Saint Teresa. I'm not condoning that S for sure. So, folks, we will be back with tips E. I'm so happy these guys, but as for the main tips, this has been the informative podcast series with Mevon, Braveboy, and Isaac Rudder. Explicit Mevon, Braveboy, and Isaac Rudder. Very, 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 very inspirational podcast. And thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing wherever you are. My name is Jamil Kashif Belleran, aka J Revolution. Until next time, go beyond just the tip, right?
That's what she said.
Full support for that shit, bro.